Hey guys, this is Cole. I am going to talk today about equality. Equality does exist. It exists in the form of the law of identity, as in A equals A, B equals B, and everything is equivalent to itself, of course. Equality also exists in the form of total sum. If A equals 3, B equals minus 3, they are equivalent to C plus D when C equals 1 and D equals minus 1. They are equivalent in this case. But it isn't more complicated when you apply the same ideas to people and things that have any characteristics. The law of identity still applies. Jake equals Jake, Sarah equals Sarah, and so on and so on. But we need to take into account, basically, his context. How old is he? What point in time does he occupy? Everything that has to do with his context. We can express this with the exponent of C, C being for context. With this expression of C, the law of identity is still applicable. So if person A at subtext C equals A at subtext C, or A C plus 1 equals A C plus 1. We can still visualize and understand the law of identity even with context applied to it. You can disprove equality of people pretty easily. Mathematically, and through common sense, no two people share an exact context. Given this, if two variables share an equivalent C, then the variables must be equal, thus be the same person. Attributes and context are both important for the same reason that describing people as superior and inferior are just simply misapplied. You can't apply superior and inferior to people without applying their context. Now, consider an electric drill and a hammer. Both are very poor at doing what the other is good at, but the context in which they are used is just as important. If I am driving nails in to a board, a drill is no good. If I'm tightening bolts, then a hammer is no good. It is the same with humans. You can only judge inferior and superior when judging their characteristics with a qualifier of proficiency in a context. And I'm also going to add, to those who will point out the rhetoric, all men are created equal, in the context of that document, written by people who own slaves nonetheless, it is better expressed with clarity if it is said as, all people whom are applicable, also known as citizens, have the unalienable God-given right to receive equal protection under their country's law. This is just a simple truth. Not all people have the same context, therefore they're not all equal, and therefore you can't be an egalitarian supremacist or any kind of things like that. You can't even really have any kind of form of supremacy or inferiority because it depends on the context. You can say the blah 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 race is inferior when it comes to long distance running. We can prove this is true within the context of long distance running, that statistical groups are better than other groups. And there's nothing wrong with that. Saying that there's inequality between people, it's not offensive, it's not wrong, it's not invalid, it is just a fact of life. Thank you everyone for listening, and I will come out next week with a very special one that I think that you all will like. It will be environmentalism versus anthropocentrism regarding nature. And this has been Cole. See you all next week.
I'll tell you one thing, the guy's a racist. You notice he kills more blacks than whites.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Harry, more blacks are muggers than whites. What do you want us to do, increase the proportion of white muggers who will have racial equality among muggers?
Oh, no.